Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Explain Everything app as far as the computer goes, or as far as the tablet goes. The previous video did show the computer version. This is going to show the tablet version. I am going to be using a stylus, so it is going to be a little bit harder until I get into the actual Explain Everything for you to see where my mouse is going to be. So just watch and I'll talk through what I'm doing. But I did want to show you what the app was going to look like. So right now I'm on the Microsoft Office store. I did look through it on an iTunes store as well for the app. The app looks the exact same, but this does work on smartphones, any form of tablet, iPads, so on and so forth. So biggest thing is your easiest way to do it is to come up to the search bar. And I'm just going to search Explain Everything, and it should pop right up as my first app. So this app is free, and it does log you in or let you log in for that 30-day free trial as well. So you shouldn't have to pay anything to download this app. I've already downloaded it, so I am going to go ahead and just launch it from this point, which is going to take me to the home page. So this home page is where you're going to find a lot of objects. Right now we are on where we're actually going to go and create a new tablet or a new project. So there are a few other things over here. This is where you can create your own files and projects where you're going to put things. You can actually explore any other projects that anybody has put on there, which is easy to do through here. They do have a search code up here in the right hand corner where you can find those and you can view any of these ones that have already been created. But for this, we are going to create our own, so we're going to start with this search page. Best thing to do is come up here in the left-hand corner. You're going to hit this plus button. First thing you're going to choose is whether you want it to be a portrait or you're going to want it to be a landscape, and you're going to choose your color template. So just, I'm going to go ahead and choose the white, red, and black template. It's going to initialize the project and go ahead and bring it up so I can view what we are going to be seeing here. So biggest thing is what I'm going to show you right now is it does have an option for you to choose your stylus. So if you're working on a tablet and creating a video kind of like I am, it does allow you to choose your stylus. You can choose one of the lightsabers and it is going to pop up so that they can follow you on the screen with wherever you're choosing. I'm going to go ahead and use just this red dot here. So you should be able to watch where my red dot is going to show what I'm doing on here. So biggest thing we're going to look at is in this first video, I am just going to cover this toolbar. And then in the second video, I'm going to talk about exporting and recording your own project. So thing up here, we're going to look at this one right here. This first little hand thing is going to be your select tool. So if you choose that, it does let you select anything that you have here on the design space. With that selected, it does take my little red dot away, so my stylus is against the screen so you can't see it. So that is a downside of that. The next tool that we've got here is actually a marker tool. If you double click on that, it does bring up and show you can choose the thickness of your marker by the slide dial, or you can just automatically choose what it looks like. Then if you come down here, you can choose whatever color you want it to be. Again, if you double click, it does give you as many colors as you want. And then you can just write on the screen. Okay. So it does give you that. If you want to go ahead and erase it, you can just choose the eraser from there, the thickness. Okay, and then you can come in and erase whatever you want to. Okay, so then if you choose again, you can just color right over the top. Next tool that we have right here is going to be our highlighter. It is the exact same process. Choose your thickness, choose your color. This does do a lighter color over the top of whatever you're writing on, so that if you had a document in here or anything, you could go ahead and highlight. Next button is my shapes. This allows me to choose whatever shape I want to insert. I can choose whatever color I want that to be, and I can go ahead and use my stylus to put my shape in. The next thing that you're not going to be able to see is you can use your fingers just like on a tablet to rearrange, okay, and size that shape, so kind of like you would on your phone. If you drag your fingers across, it does make it bigger or smaller, so that is an option as well. Our next one, if we go back to our toolbar, is going to be this text tool. Again, you can choose your font with whatever you want. And then, so let's say I'm going to choose this one. I can choose my font size. It does give you quite a few different options that you can choose there. So let's go with this. I'm going to go ahead and enter my text box, bring up my text box and say, you know, whatever I want to write. I can drag and drop, make it bigger, smaller with that as well. Same thing with my fingers. If I go ahead and insert that in, use my fingers to drag it to make it bigger, or I can use it and make them smaller. So kind of just depends on you want. Our next button over here is one of the cooler buttons. It is our insert button. This is going to allow us to insert a bunch of different things into our picture. So I'm going to go ahead before we start the insert. I am going to create a new slide. So if I click this button down over here, it will allow me to choose the template. Or if I click this plus sign on the bottom, it does create a new slide. So it's a very interactive presentation. So that's how I do that. And then if I do that, it will allow me to drag and drop, change the template. Say I wanted a black background on this one. You know, it's going to change the template on all of them. So if I come over here to my insert, first thing we can do, is going to be an image. A lot of these, they just open right up, let you choose what you want to do. Does have an image restriction. From this point in time, I can draw, okay, on my picture and choose what I want to do or what I want to insert if I don't necessarily want all of the picture to be inserted. So I could do something like that, and now it's going to only insert the picture. As you can see, if I don't like that, I can rotate it 90 degrees. Say I don't like that either. So I'm going to go ahead and you can crop from that view as well. Or say I just like that picture just like that. I'm going to hit done, and it is going to insert it into my program. Again, using my fingers, I can make it bigger or smaller. I can rotate it, you know, to do whatever I want it to do. Or drag and drop where I want it to be. Okay. Then a lot of the other things that you can find here are pretty self-explanatory. It will insert a presentation, so if you have a PowerPoint already created that you want to use for your demonstration or your video, you can. We'll import that file and then say I wanted to insert pictures over the top or highlight something. That is something that is a tool available in this presentation. So PowerPoint I just uploaded has 6 total slides, and there's nothing really on these slides, but I can toggle through them using these arrow keys down here. So if I wanted to, say I had text on this slide and I wanted to highlight something, you know, and make it well known, I can do that. But, you know, you can just kind of play around with all of these insert tools. There is an explanation on the handout if you want to look at that. Next tool I have is going to be my cut tool. So I can go in and select something, and it is going to move it or make a copy of it, okay, to put it wherever you want. So if you wanted like double of something, you can go ahead and just create that double. Next one is my delete tool. So if I click over here on my delete, and then I can select whatever I want to delete, and if I hit that red X, it goes away. So that's the delete tool. I already showed you the pointer tool. This next tool is called the inspector tool. It allows you to format whether you're going to bring something forward, bring it back. Your edit is group, ungroup, just a lot of the basic functions that you have to control things. This is an undo button. There's a redo button. Okay, so that allows you to use that as well if you want. So we're going to move this back out of the way. Zoom button allows you to zoom in or zoom back out, depending on what you want. And then this button actually takes away the recording and everything off of the bottom if you choose to go that direction. Okay, so in the next video, I'm going to show you how to use the recording and how to export your slides.